The Uncommon Expose, where I'm changing your life by sharing someone else's. Will you help me change someone's life by hitting subscribe?
Alrighty, welcome. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited because what you're going to be discussing is like a childhood dream, but I feel like you're going to give me the reality of what this dream fully encompasses as an adult. So welcome to the Uncommon Expose. I'll get you to introduce yourself and we'll just crack on.
Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Jacqui. That childhood dream that we were talking about is that I am an actress. I'm a voiceover artist, but I'm also now moving into public speaking and media training as well.
Yep.
So, yes, I'm really looking forward to this chat.
Yes, me too. You're going to I think open so many eyes into what the actual world of acting and production and things like that is like.
Absolutely.
So let's start from where did it begin for you?
Childhood.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You could ask my parents. I came out singing.
Yeah.
We'll say screaming, but I came out singing. It was always in my blood to be performing and doing something. There are many photos of me as a young kid with guitars, microphones. I would just put on a show for anyone and not anyone who wanted to watch.
Yeah.
And my mum would say, if you had asked her, what did Jacqui want to be when she grew up? And she said she wanted to be an actress on Home and Away. Not just an actress, but an actress on Home and Away.
Yeah, very specific.
Very specific. Now, I've auditioned for Home and Away twice now.
Yeah.
Rejected both times, but that's okay. I'm hoping third time's a charm if we can hide the wrinkles a little bit more.
Oh, I know, right? It's a reality of growing, isn't it?
Absolutely. And I will not dive into too much Botox just yet, but it was always the dream to be an actress. And it was really interesting. I think I was reading a copy of Vogue or Marie Claire quite recently, and Julia Garner she did Ozarks and she played Inventing Anna.
Yes, that's such a good show.
Such a good show. And she said it perfectly in an interview. She said, I found it easier to say the words that I was feeling through the characters. And I really felt that as a child. I didn't feel like I had a voice. I definitely grew up in that generation of kids were meant to be quiet. Definitely heard the, stop being so dramatic many times. But I was just a very loud, expressive kid, and I just had nowhere to funnel that.
Yeah.
Until I got put into dance classes and until I got put into acting classes.
And how old were you then?
Excuse me.
Yeah.
I would have been 5 or 6 doing ballet.
Yeah.
And then it really was when I got to high school that I started to put the foot down in terms of I was doing speech and drama lessons outside of school.
Oh, wow.
Every play I could get myself into, choir, band, you name it. That was just where I could express myself fully and not be judged or told to be quiet or small or anything like that. So it was just my playground. It was my Candyland and I loved it.
And did you find that all of the children who were in these acting and dance classes, was it very similar personalities as well? They might have been a quieter child, but they were all very loud, very boisterous, outgoing personalities?
Yes, but I also found it was the introverts that finally found an environment that allowed them to access this. I mean, personally, I believe that we all have those attributes of introvert and extrovert, and I also find myself sort of somewhere in the middle, which is the term ambivert. And so I love being at events, but I will excuse myself and quickly backdoor it when my social battery has run flat.
Yeah.
It will not be 15 minutes of goodbyes. I will just excuse myself and leave because I am drained. But I really do believe that we have all parts of that within our personalities. When you put an introvert into an environment where they know their topic, they feel really confident in what they're going to say, they don't have to be the loudest person in the room, but they feel of worth. And so that just changes their physical, their voice, everything.
Yeah.
So I found with the acting classes, it gave those kids an opportunity to try things and find that voice and find this playfulness that they were probably not encouraged to do so at home.
Yeah.
They quite often say that with the introverts, they were told as young children or heard people say about them, oh, she's shy.
Yeah.
Oh, no, she's the quiet one. And so when we hear that over and over again, we internalize that.
Yeah.
Oh, of course I'm the shy one. Yeah. So therefore I can't do that play, or I can't do public speaking, or I will never put myself out there.
Yeah.
When you hear it over and over again, you kind of become that. You just go, that's me. I've been told that that's what I do. So just seeing those kids come alive in the class was just magical, because you saw that imagination at play and that creativity, and the environment really lent itself to that.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
And I think so many people with little children who are saying that their children are shy are going to be like, right, acting classes, that's the way to go.
My goodness. I did a public speaking workshop for summer school a couple of years ago, and every single child, it was written on the form, why are the kids coming into this particular class? Oh, they're introverts. Oh, I need to get them off the computer. This was their parents putting them into this class.
Yeah.
And when you take them out of the environment that they're used to, and most of the workshop was me just getting the kids to do improv exercises. And so just watching their little eyes light up when there was no test. Yeah. They weren't being critiqued on anything. There wasn't an outcome or a result that they had to achieve. I just asked them to play. Yeah. And they were different children from once they walked in to when they left. Yeah. So I just think we need to give kids more of that playful environment to figure themselves out and where they want to fit.
Yeah. And so that brought you to feeling who you were, those classes?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I did speech and drama, I did English lit, I did drama studies for my final year of year 12. And then once those exams were done, it was really my parents sitting down and saying those dreaded words of, I think you need to do something more serious with your life.
Oh, yeah.
And it was just like a dagger to the heart, because it's not as if my parents didn't know any of this. They'd come to every rehearsal and play and musical and all that sort of stuff. Yeah. So it was in my blood. So and I get it. I get it that parents are coming from a place of safety, making sure you're going to be financially secure. And the stats are not in our favor as far as acting and musicians and go.
Yeah.
But it was just a struggle to try and figure out who I was when I didn't have that available to me.
Yeah.
So it was a big struggle for a couple of years post high school. I dabbled in a degree or half-assed degree of doing occupational therapy. Then I transitioned into doing a commerce degree because I just thought it might give me more options like marketing and management, all that sort of stuff, and meet more people. I was like, great, I can use my communication skills. I can work as a team. And it was just this constant niggle of, you're not doing the thing that's lighting you up. And the more we push this away, the harder it's going to come and the louder it's going to get. Yeah. So I did what every very intelligent, knows everything 22-year-old should do, and said that I was moving to Sydney. I was in Perth. I'd grown up in Perth. And I said, I'll transfer my degree over. And I didn't tell my parents that I had dropped out of uni. I enrolled in a part-time acting course at ACA, which I think Hugh Jackman is still he's still a founding member of this acting school in Sydney. And every Saturday, it was just the joy of my life to rock up to acting school. Yeah, wow. I just didn't want to do or be anything else. Yeah. And then once I graduated from that 6-month course, that was it. The bug was back. Yeah. And I remember sitting down with one of the tutors. We had this delicious fruit scone in Bondi at this coffee shop, and she said, you need to go to New York. Yeah. And I said, okay.
Yeah, of course.
Of course.
Yeah, well, I would. It's perfect. Let's do it.
Of course. I mean, that just makes complete sense.
It does.
I've just met you. I've just done a 6-month acting course. I know that this is going to piss my parents off. Let's go. Yeah. Let's do that. Yeah. So I went and got my visa. Yep. I illegally sublet my apartment in Bondi at the time, as you do. And I went to New York for 6 months and just learnt from 2 of the finest acting coaches at the time. Yeah. And they were responsible for the careers of Nicole Kidman and Bradley Cooper. And so I learnt directly from them. And it was just, I was only there for 6 months, but my God, so far, it's literally been the best 6 months of my life. Yeah. living in America, first and foremost, I traveled to Southeast Asia at best. So this was just a whole new world to me. I spent all my money on acting classes. I was working for tips at bars just to cover myself, my rent, and then getting on the subway to get to and from. But it just opened my eyes to what was possible, and that people took acting as a career. Like, these kids, some of these kids were on their way to Hollywood, and some of them have gone on to do that. So it was just, wouldn't recommend the way I did it, but will never take anything away from that experience. It was absolutely incredible.
But what you're saying very much sounds like what I assume to be the typical approach to becoming an actor. You ditch your home life and you go for it and you make it work in however way or capacity that you can.
Yeah.
Look, my perception is based off of movies, so I don't know how authentic that is.
Of course, and it's the true Hollywood stories that we watch, but I wouldn't recommend doing it like that these days.
Okay.
And COVID really changed everything when it came to Australians moving and relocating to the States.
Yeah.
Because what was happening is, and I've heard stories from beautiful friends of mine, is that they would give up everything here in Australia, working in hospitality, which was at least paying you 20, 30, 40 bucks an hour, depending on what day, plus tips, plus you were close to home and friends and family. And people were giving up all of that to then go and work for minimum wage, sleeping on friends' couches in LA, and then just having to borrow friends' cars to get to and from auditions. Yeah. And auditions in LA, especially during pilot season. So pilot season happens at the very beginning of the year. Okay. And this is when they cast a lot of their TV shows.
Right, okay.
Some actors can be expecting anywhere between 2 to 6 auditions in a day.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Within the same location or... Yeah, right.
That's you driving in LA. So knowing how to drive on the other side of the road, making sure you had your international driver's license, etc. I mean, then you're having to prep for all of that.
Yeah.
It's the lines, it's the character development that you'd have to do and make sure you had lined all of that up so you could pump some out in the day. And then, of course, none of that's guaranteed.
Yeah. And you don't get paid to audition
And you don't get paid to audition at all.
And taking a day off of work.
Yep.
Yeah, wow.
Yep.
Yeah.
And let's say you had a 15-minute audition, but it was at 4:30 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Your bar shift starts at 4.
Yeah.
So for that 15 minutes, you would have to have given up an entire bar shift.
Yeah.
So there's just so much that you have to give up and sacrifice for this love and this passion.
Yeah.
But with COVID and shutting everything down, then what the acting schools are telling the kids now is that build a career here first. You can send self-tapes now. So, COVID really changed how we audition for things.
Yeah.
It was about how you could be physically in the room because that meant something.
Yeah.
And I get it. Being in the room trumps being online any day of the week.
Yeah.
But with COVID not allowing any of that, they've become so much better with what we call self-tapes now.
Yeah.
So in this room, I think I've self-taped for a couple of things now. So you just set up your camera, make sure the lighting's good. We're all using our phones as our cameras anyway.
Yeah.
And you do an audition and I can send that to LA via an email.
Yeah.
So it has completely changed. So they do recommend not giving up your entire life to go and do a 6-week, 6-month stint.
Yeah.
Be here where you're comfortable.
Yeah, yeah.
You're not under any stress being at home in your spare bedroom or just finding a blank wall somewhere. You get your friends to come and read the opposite character.
Yeah.
They love it. They get so invested. They're like, oh, how was I? I was like, it was pretty good, actually.
How was I? That's about you. How was I?
It's really, they're just like, no, I think I can do a better one. Bless you. But this is my self-tape.
Yeah.
So,
do you feel that with self-tapes, that the quality of character you can produce is as good as the pressure of performing or auditioning in front of the casting director or whoever?
Yeah. So it's such a catch now.
Yeah, okay.
When you're in the room, the casting director, the director, if they happen to be there, they can give you direct feedback.
Yeah.
So you can go in with a plan.
Yeah.
Usually what they request or say that you should do is go in with 2 or 3 versions of that one scene or that one character.
Yeah.
And then they will guide you on where they think you should go next with it.
Right, okay.
When you're self-taping at home,
Yeah.
you don't have that feedback.
Yeah.
So you've got to hope that what you've done, the work, the rehearsal, the everything is enough that they will at least get you to do a second audition.
Yeah.
And then they might give you some feedback and just go, cool, we loved what you did. That was a really interesting choice.
Yeah.
We'd love for you to try it this way next time.
Yeah.
Now I can do that in the room,
Yeah.
but self-tapes just might be. So you've really got to trust in your instinct and your craft when you're doing self-tapes and making sure you've got someone else who's filming with you that has that critical eye that says, yeah, I didn't really buy it when you were in that part of the scene. And you're like, okay, God, thank you, because I could feel myself tapping out. So, yeah, it's a double-edged sword.
And can you film 3 different styles of the same character to send off? Just one, and you get like one shot.
You get one shot.
Yeah, right. Wow, that sucks. That sounds like it sucks.
It does.
Yeah.
It really does, because you do all this work to be prepped. Yeah. And yeah, you've just got to trust that you pick the right one. Sometimes they'll allow you to send 2.
Yeah.
Those 2 have to be very, very different from each other.
Wow.
It's not that you maybe got a little bit angry on this second line that you didn't in the first.
Yeah.
It is a very, very different scene that you're presenting if you're going to deliver 2.
Wow.
Yeah.
God, that sounds really hard.
It is
So
really hard.
self-motivating.
Oh, yes. But it's just the self-doubt that comes in with that as
Okay.
well.
Yeah.
It's like, did I do enough job? Because you're not getting that feedback.
Yeah.
I mean, as humans, we need feedback.
Yeah.
So when you're delivering it to your phone and you're trying your best to create this character, and you've got to find this balance of how would I deliver this character, and then what do I think they're looking for?
Yeah.
And for a lot of my acting career, I mean, I would say 75%, I was so focused on what I thought they wanted.
Okay.
And a lot of actors will say this, and they'll just go, as soon as I made that transition into, okay, I've been given the character notes here, I've been given a bit of a brief about what the show is and what the production's all about, I'm going to take that into consideration. But here is where I think I can really put myself into this character.
Yeah.
And the director is going to vibe on that so much more.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. I love Schitt's Creek.
Oh, just the best
And
show ever.
it is so incredibly good. With Alexis, the character, where she auditioned and no one else had auditioned. Like, that character is just her.
Yep.
And so, yeah, like whatever, I guess, director's notes she would have gotten from the casting director and the staff, she'd just taken whatever she wanted to do and brought that character to life.
That's correct.
So they probably guided her a little bit here or there, but I can only imagine that the director did not see where that character was going to grow into.
No, not at all.
And she was like so much of our, I think, society right now, like, mimics her hand movements and everything like that.
Oh, I mean, ew, David.
Yeah, I
like, know. It's just become,
It's iconic.
it's vernacular now.
Yeah.
We use it. It's on T-shirts. It's on, if you're called David, good luck to you.
Yeah, I agree.
One of my favorite acting stories when it comes to an actor taking this role for himself was Joel Edgerton when he did Smoking Aces.
Yeah.
He was given this script, so he plays one of the bodyguards and he plays a Russian bodyguard. Now, when you think of bodyguard, you think of someone who's quite heavy set, muscly, tattoos, quite an imposing character. So when Joel got this script, he looked at the words and the actual words of the script first with this idea of what a bodyguard should look like. And he was reading through it and he's just like, oh, God, it just reads really broken English. He's an Aussie guy. It reads really broken English. So who would play a bodyguard with broken English? And he's just like, a Russian would speak broken English, but a Russian would think, okay, great. He would be an imposing enough character that he could play a bodyguard. And he went, okay, all right, no problem. So he started like playing with this Russian accent. And so he kind of got that down. And then he thought, okay, great. If I'm going to walk in here and if I'm committing, and it had nothing in the script to say Russian bodyguard at all. It was just a choice that he made because of all of the work that he'd done with the script, with the notes from the director, and then kind of just what he had in his own, I guess, toolkit. And then as he was getting ready for the audition, he's just like, how am I going to really sell this? And so he was Googling like a Russian bodyguard. Now, Russians have, or some of them have that really precise, blunt fringe.
Yes.
That really slicked down, blunt, bowl cut fringe.
Yeah.
And so before his audition, he went and had that, he went and got that haircut. Commitment. And then he just went, okay, great. So I've got the hair, I've got the accent, I've got this. Okay, great. I mean, as a Russian bodyguard, there is a way that I would stand that's very, very different to like a guy with big muscles. And so he started walking like a Russian, like really skittish, really whatever. But he would just like do things with his body language that you just go, oh God. And then he's like, what would I wear?
Yeah.
So he went and found a matching red tracksuit with the white stripe down the middle.
Like Kappa.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sneakers, everything.
Yeah.
So he rocks up to this audition.
Yeah.
And he's just like, he did his first take and the director was like, okay, cool, no problems. He's like, but I've got a second option for you. This is the one that I think, this is the one I love. And they're like, okay, cool, give it to us. And he did this Russian bodyguard with the hair, with the outfit, the tracksuit pants, whatever. That is what you see in the movie.
Oh, wow.
Because sometimes a director has an idea, but it's not until someone comes into the room and it's an option that they've never considered and they just go, that's it.
That's the character.
I didn't know what I was looking for until you walked in, and now I can't think of doing it any other way. Yeah. And that's how Joel Edgerton did Smoking Aces.
That's so cool.
It's so cool. I love telling that story because I just wish that it was mine.
Yeah. Do you have any roles that are like that?
I mean, nothing crazy. So some of the acting roles that I've done was very, very simple. But there was a TV commercial that I went for and it was for $10,000. And at that time, I just wanted the money for, I'll be honest, a lot of actors will take TV commercials, not because we love the work, but just because they pay really great money. Yeah. And I had just left my agent. And so I was coming in as a freelancer. Again, never navigated life as a freelance actor either. So I came in, I thought I'd nailed the first take. And what normally happens is you do it in front of a casting director first. Yep. Then they'll shortlist who they think is great, pass it on to the director. But because this was such a quick turnaround, I think I got the audition on a Monday. So the notice came in from an email, auditioned on Wednesday, and then we were filming the following Monday. So it was so quick. Yeah. So the director was in the room. Now I walked in, I did the thing, and the ad was for NRMA, which is an insurance company, and the title or the campaign title was something. And in that very first take, I completely fucked it up. Yeah, okay. I just said it wildly incorrectly. Yeah. And when they yelled cut, the director just pissed himself laughing. And I was mortified. I was like, oh no, I fucked this up. Yeah. He's just like, that's a really interesting way of saying that. And I went, what is it? He's like, this. And I went, oh my God, I'm not even close. So director and casting director are really trying hard not to laugh. Yeah. He's like, look, let's do that again. Yeah. Go back to your mark. We'll just do another take. And so in that moment, I had to turn around and put my back to them, compose myself, just go, okay, great. Sure, first take, whatever. Yeah. And so I went back and did it and nailed it. And then I was just like, I'm not going to get this. I'm not going to get this. So then to get the call and say, you've got it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And the casting director said to me, she said, in that moment, the director understood or realized that he wanted to spend 12 hours on set with you.
Yeah, right.
Because you didn't take it too seriously. You listened to direction. Yeah. You were able to flip on a dime. Yeah. And you had fun at your own expense. And he's just like, if I'm going to be stuck on set with you for 12 hours, I want that person rather than the person who's going to go, oh no, I fucked it up. Oh no, I was so focused on doing it one way. I can't change it now. Oh my God.
Everyone's going to hate me.
Everyone's going to hate me
because I've messed it up.
Yeah. And so, yes, it was the way I just navigated it. Yeah. My personality, whatever.
That's such a good story.
I love telling that story because at the end of the day, it is about you. Yeah. Doesn't matter what you're delivering, it is about you. Yeah. And when we talk about being in business, Absolutely. I mean, there are so many speaking coaches, so many business coaches, so many marketing coaches, so many social media consultants and agencies. People buy into you because of you.
Yeah.
Not because you offer a 12-month program or mastermind or whatever.
And it's not even in business, I don't think.
No.
Relationships, like dating and friendships and workplace and things like that.
Yeah.
That is such a, like, how you pivot and how you represent yourself is so important.
Yeah, absolutely. Like cafes around this area, I will go to 2. I will wait at those 2 for that coffee because I love the people there. I love that I'm supporting their business.
Yeah.
I mean, I could go to the drive-through, the Zaffaranos or whatever.
Zarafas.
The Zarafas.
No. We're going to call it Zaffaranos now, though.
Great. I'm pretty sure that's a restaurant in Perth anyway. I could go there. It would be quicker.
Yeah.
But I want to support the local, the small business, the whatever.
Yeah.
I want to walk in and have a chat with them, not just sit in the driveway waiting for my coffee. I understand I'm paying for convenience, but if I have to choose, I'm choosing the place that I love the vibe of, I love the humans of. And so, I'm still going to get the same coffee. Yeah. But I'm buying into them.
Yeah, that's perfect. So when you finished your 6-month actors extravaganza,
let's go that.
in New York, where did you go from there? Like,
Yep. So I came back to Sydney. I got an agent virtually straight away, which again is unheard of. But when you go and learn in America, there's a standard that you've set.
Yeah.
So I got an agent straight away. I think my first ever commercial was maybe 2 months in. I got KFC. It was just so much fun.
Yeah.
And it was being on set for the very first time because I'd done lots of stage.
Yeah, okay.
Stage was where I felt really comfortable. There was a live audience happening, but then having to transform that energy, that storytelling, now within the confines of this tiny little camera that's like right in your face, that changed how I performed, because all of this energy that I had, I now had to be very still. I had to pick my moments. You've got this entire crew of people just looking at you, watching every move you make to make sure it's exactly what they need for that particular frame. So it just blew my mind. And then I just went, this is exactly where I need to be.
Yeah.
I am obsessed. So it was lots of commercials, a couple of short films, and then I got a role on A Place to Call Home, which it's a period piece. So it was Craig McLachlan, who people have certain feelings about right now.
He did Rocky Horror.
He did Rocky Horror. Yeah. He also got into trouble with Rocky Horror. But as far as a scene partner goes, what I learnt from him was just incredible.
Yeah.
And he was such a professional.
Yeah, okay.
Just watching him work, watching him interact with the crew in between takes, I was trying not to piss myself laughing because we would have to do a serious scene.
Yeah.
And so it really just taught me, okay, if I'm going to play with the big guys, I've got to work. And I was so green, but it motivated me to do more. Then I did a show with Marta Dusseldorf, and I remember being in a scene with her. And it was my very first take, again, not being on a crew of like 100 people before in my life. And so when we did our first take, I stuffed up my line and she looked me dead in the eyes and she recited my line for me. And I just
Is that helpful?
Well, in the moment, you don't think it is.
No.
You're just like, she's just scolded me.
Yeah.
I'm in so much trouble. But what it was that she had done more work than anyone else in the room.
Yeah.
So she knew everyone else's lines, not to scold them, but just to go, I've got you. Let's just pick it up and go again.
Right.
Don't get in your head about this.
Yeah.
First take, we're just going to go again.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes we can do 15 takes of the same scene and maybe 2 of those are because I've made a mistake.
Yeah.
It's lighting, it's sound. When you're shooting outside, if a cloud's going over, then that's going to change the look of the first time we shot it. So we've got to make sure that that's not all happening. So yes, when they go, such and such take 15, that's not you as an actor. That's just so many other things at play. But because you are the focus, you've just got to release a lot of this pressure off yourself. Just go, I've got my craft. I know what I'm doing here. I've just got to get through this.
Yeah.
But she showed me another level of professionalism, which is why when you see working actors, that's what they're doing.
Yeah.
They are putting in more than anyone else in the room.
Yeah.
And that's why she's been continuously booked over and over again and is like one of the Australian darlings of TV.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Or not crazy. Crazy is another one. That's amazing. So when you're acting, it's not just about bringing the character to life, which I can imagine is very, I would say draining. Like being someone who's not yourself, but remembering the lines, remembering the facial expressions, remembering how that character feels and moves and acts. But then you're also, like, I assume hitting marks and keeping a hand in frame and things like that.
Yep.
So, and you're thinking about all of those things while trying to be this character.
Yeah.
Wow.
When people say, oh, I want to be an actor, it looks really easy.
Oh, no. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Or when people, you know, you look at the Hollywood stars and they're getting paid like $15 million a film.
Yeah.
I watch a lot of TV and a lot of film because I'm just obsessed with it.
Yeah.
But I look at particular scenes
Yeah.
and the emotional depth that actors have to get to in order to make that look believable for 30 seconds.
Yeah.
That is just not, oh, I'm going to cry on cue.
Yeah.
That is years of working on your craft, figuring out what your trigger is that is going to make you cry. Because if I'm in a film, when I did the Dr. Blake murder mysteries, I had to stab somebody.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I've never stabbed somebody in my life.
No.
But I had to go to that place of what would make Jacqui want to stab somebody.
Yeah.
And even though I've never had, I just think, okay, great. Okay, if something ever happened to my mum, if someone caused harm to my mum, that would make me want to stab somebody.
Yeah.
And so I had to find where that rage lived in my body to make it look as realistic as possible. Otherwise, you just look like you're stabbing someone and it looks really contrite and staged and whatever.
Yeah.
We have to go to these places where it looks natural for me to be crying or upset or screaming at someone or whatever.
Yeah.
So it actually is so much more work than the general public give this craft credit for.
Oh, absolutely. And then also I can imagine, like, you're playing a character that's just stabbed someone. And then when the show wraps, you have to go back to being Jacqui.
Correct.
And release, I guess we got Heath Ledger, so it was a very tragic example, but then how do you come out of that character? Is it easy enough for you because you have tools that help you shift in and out of a specific scene, or?
Yep. With Heath, and he is part of a generation of actors who have committed to a technique called method acting.
Yeah.
We've heard that term before. It's just basically you're committing mind, body, soul, everything to this character. And he went to the depths to play the Joker. And I mean, it worked as far as the movie is concerned. It's just one of the most incredible, polarizing characters. He was such a horrible character, but we found empathy and we rooted for him. And that's just so hard to do. Yeah. But when you are so deep in that type of character, it is really hard to pull yourself out of. Yeah. So I'm generalizing here. I do believe that actors are pulling themselves away from this particular technique because it is all-encompassing. Yeah. And so you do have to have a life outside of acting that brings you back to normal, in inverted commas. So when I was teaching actors a couple of years ago, I would just say, please just don't make this your entire life. Have things that you are looking forward to outside of, that you're working towards outside of this, because it'll give you purpose rather than being fixated on this one thing. Yeah. So like this character becomes your all, the winning an Oscar becomes the only thing in your life. So having different parts is really, really important to find that balance.
Yeah. And that's what you do?
Yeah, you have to. Yeah. Yeah, you really have to. Because there's characters, I mean, I don't even have to go as deep as the Joker, but there are characters where as an actor, you're always taught, don't judge your character.
Oh, okay.
Don't ever judge your character. As soon as you start judging your character, you will never find a way into fully embodying and embracing their essence. So even if I wanted to kill someone, there is a humanity in why I would do that in the first place. But if I judge that character, I'll never find that humanity. Yeah. So, I mean, there are characters that I've played that are just polar opposite to me. And I've just got to find, I think we all have the capability to go to those places. Yeah. But in life, we never do because we don't have to.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Screaming at someone, do it like we never, unless it's maybe your children if you have them.
Yeah.
But we never register or play with that because we just don't have the environments or the opportunities to do so. That's why I love it when Julia was just like, I have found it was easier to voice or have my voice heard through these characters than I could in my own life. Yeah. So yeah, I think I've found more of that balance, but there are definitely characters where I'm just like, this is totally me, this is fine. And then there are characters I'm just like, she lives in me somewhere.
Yeah. That's hard.
It's challenging. Yeah. It's the work.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the work.
Wow. That's so cool. I had another question, but now I've forgotten. What rejection? Because we were discussing this before. That's, I assume, again, I have no personal experience, but it just, rejection is not nice. But from what I've heard, the industry of actors, rejection is harsh. And from the sounds of things, like you just said, the 6 auditions in a day and say 5 days a week, and you hear nothing, or I assume you would get negative feedback as well?
No.
Oh, okay.
The feedback is silence.
Right, okay.
The feedback is silence.
Yeah.
The first time I auditioned for Home and Away, I was told that I was too young for the character, so I'll take that.
Yeah.
The second time I auditioned for Home and Away, it was during COVID. And so a lot of the Australian actresses that had gone to LA were now all home. Yeah, so we had this caliber of talent on our shores that we'd never experienced before. Yeah. So they got the opportunity. I was also in Perth. Production have to factor in travel costs for me and accommodation. But if you've got all of these actresses living in Sydney, it's so much easier. You just drive up to Palm Beach and off you go. So I was given some feedback. With the newest iteration of 90210, when they did the remake, I auditioned for that.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Nothing.
Oh.
So you submit an audition, you put your heart and soul into it. I auditioned recently for a Netflix show, and again, you just put everything into the audition. You send it off. Your agent might watch your audition and just go, yeah, that was really good. Like, I'm really so impressed. Let's just see how we go. Yeah. Nothing. My agent won't even get feedback. So the silence is almost, it's harder than getting the negative feedback. Like if they just said, oh, she wasn't hitting the mark, or let's just say, with 90210, let's say that the 2 girls that they'd cast as the lead, who've got a much bigger profile than me, if they've got brown hair and brown eyes, well, we can't have too many of the girls all looking the same.
Yeah.
So that could have been the reason why I wasn't cast. Yeah. Maybe because I was too green. Like, I will never know.
Yeah. And it gives you nowhere to focus to improve.
No.
Yeah, you're just clutching your straws that aren't even there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's wildly frustrating, but you've just got to keep picking yourself back up again.
Yeah.
And realize it's not you.
Yeah.
Even though as an actor, I'm my craft. I am the tools. I am the everything. If I'm acting on a show, it's me. It's not a version of me. It's not my coaching. It's not my coffee. It's not my service. But it is still, and again, something I learned later, you do have to separate yourself from your craft.
Yeah.
And just go, great, just because they didn't like the version that I submitted for this character does not mean that they don't like me as a human being or as an actor.
Yeah.
So coming back to what I was saying earlier, it was never my role to begin with. Just because I got an audition does not make it my role.
Yeah.
I still have to fight for it.
Yeah.
A really good friend of mine, he had made so many callbacks for this commercial for 4X Gold. So good old Aussie beer company.
Yeah.
And Chris is not the person you would ever think to be in a 4X Gold. He is blonde hair, blue eyes, perfect teeth, just like perfect.
Yeah.
The commercial was for $40,000.
Wow.
And because he had made so many callbacks, Production was saying we're bringing in other actors to do chemistry tests with him to make sure that they vibed as a group, so it was relatable on camera. And then in the 11th hour, the client came back and said, actually, I don't think Chris is the right fit. We'd much prefer to go with more of like an Aussie dad bod with facial hair and whatever. So in that second, he was dropped because powers that be decided he was not the right fit for their campaign. Him and his girlfriend had gotten to a point where they were looking at flights to go away and do a trip to Italy, which they'd always wanted to do. Thank God they hadn't booked anything.
Yeah.
But when you are constantly fed, much like the introverts being told you're shy, whatever, you're going to get this, you're going to get this, you're it. Of course, it's so hard not to think anything differently. But unless you are standing on set, and even then, I've had some incredible friends get on the biggest of projects, films, whatever. They will do all of their scenes and then everything gets left on the editing floor.
Yeah. And do you get paid then? How does that work?
You do get paid for your time.
Okay.
You do get paid for your time. It will not be a credit on your resume though.
Yeah. That sucks.
Because the problem is it's great to have money in the bank account, yes. But if I'd gotten 90210, what that would have meant for my career and getting more roles would have far superseded what I would have been paid a day rate to do the work.
Absolutely.
So yeah, it is so cutthroat. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't want to be doing anything else.
Yeah. And I guess that's what like drives the industry.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can you do a good American accent?
I'm very rusty.
Okay.
I'm very rusty. When I lived in New York, people who I would meet just wanted me to speak in Australian because they were just so obsessed with the Australian accent. I mean, this was showing my age now, but when I was in New York was 2011.
Oh, okay then.
Yeah.
At 22?
Yep.
Yeah, right.
Yep. 23.
23.
I moved to Sydney when I was 22. Sorry,
okay.
There's lots of numbers that I've been throwing around lately.
That's all right. Wow.
So they just wanted to hear the Australian accent.
Yeah.
But no, my American's very rusty. Again, it's practice.
Yeah.
And when you let something go, it's like me trying to learn something on Duolingo. Like I'll be really solid for 4 days and then I'll be too busy. And then I was just like, oh God, how do I say cat again in Italian? Like I've just forgotten because it's a muscle.
Yeah.
I mean, we can all do an American accent.
Yeah.
But if we don't continue to keep working on it'll go so quickly.
Yeah. Wow. Oh, I love that. That was just so insightful and I really, really loved your story. Thank you so much for sharing it with me and with everyone. And this, like, it's really got me excited the way, like, just your passion for the industry and for pursuing what you want to pursue. But I always love finishing on what, if you could either go back in time and talk to younger you, what advice would you give them? Or if there was someone in a similar situation to you right now, what would the advice be for them, like, to get to where you're at? What do you want to share?
If I could go back in time and say to my younger self, and I'm probably going to say 15. 15 always comes up for me.
Okay.
If I was to go back and say 15-year-old Jacqui, learn how to communicate what it is that you want.
Yeah.
Because instead of letting my parents dictate what I did next after high school, I could have instead said, please let me follow this passion. This is not something that I've just made up. There's evidence that I'm good at it and that I'm passionate about it and I want to do it. You've seen that. And I could have maybe bargained with them. I was like, let me pursue this until I'm 24, 25.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is between the ages of 15 to 25 is prime for your acting career. You look at all of the child actors that sort of come through and then have longevity in their careers. Yeah. It's because they hit it hard in that decade.
Yeah.
Almost kind of once you hit 25, you're considered older.
Yeah.
So I could have just said, let me do this until I'm 25. If it doesn't work out, I get it. But you had to at least have let me tried.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I would have gone back to uni or I would have tried a different path.
And you would have, like, felt satisfied in your desire.
Yes.
It didn't work. I've tried it. I know now that you could have tried it and been successful. You could have tried it and hated it.
Yeah.
It would have closed instead of the what ifs.
Yeah, absolutely. And I just didn't want to have those regrets.
Yeah.
So I would just say, learn how to speak up for yourself rather than let others speak for you.
Yeah.
And I think that's just going to help
Yeah.
people in their lives anyway. And just knowing that your gut is going to tell you more than your brain, a business coach, a mentor, your parents, your anything.
Yeah.
I knew that if I went to New York, and my parents did not want me to go.
Oh.
They did not support this move at all. They were in Perth.
Yeah.
None of my family have ever been to America, let alone New York. So they just didn't want me to go pretty much on my own to do this fantasy career of being an actor. So there were so many unknowns for them. That's why they didn't want me to do it.
Yeah.
But my gut told me I had to, even though there were so many unknowns. It was almost like my parents go, unknowns don't. I went, unknowns do anyway.
Yeah.
So there's part of me that wants that fearlessness back a little bit.
Yeah.
So don't ever lose that fearlessness. Try things. Like you and I have been vibing off of, you have said you really wanted to get into acting, and there's still moments where you'll watch something and you think, oh, why didn't I?
Yeah.
It's never too late.
Yeah.
It's never too late. I would dive into an improv class.
Yeah.
Just go and try things and be in that play and that wonderland of, getting out of your head and experiencing a character. So lots of improv schools will do a free or an introductory class that you don't have to pay for.
Yeah.
Go and get a taste for it. Go and do a dance class. I don't care if you're good or not. It's just having that movement and that play and just being around other people, but just go and do the thing that freaking scares you.
Yeah.
Because you might turn around and go, actually, do you know what? That's not for me.
Yeah.
And then you watch your next thing and you're just like, I'm glad I did that improv class.
Yeah.
But I can put that to bed now.
Yeah.
Rather than spending the next 6 months, 12 months continuously watching things, just going, I wish I had.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'd just rather you not live in the wish I had.
Yeah.
Just go freaking do it.
Yeah. I agree with that on so many levels. Not even just if acting is your passion, anything that scares the shit out of you, that's what you need to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd rather you try and fail than just sit there just going, oh, I wish I'd really done that.
Yeah. And I think that the people who are doing it, they would also rather try and fail than regret the rest of their lives.
Absolutely.
Oh, amazing. Thank you so much for sharing. That's been just so much fun. I really loved it. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.